All right, I think we're live this time. Sorry about last time. There was kind of some sound issues we had, so hopefully I'll be able to hear it. The new. So I'm Linus Wilson. We're talking about Vikings right now, and so the mid-season finale was pretty awesome. So the mid-season finale, of course, had the battle between Ivar and Bjorn and the Battle of Wits. But I thought it was just good from the very beginning. From the very beginning, we get uh, Bjorn kind of preparing for the defense of Norway. So Bjorn um, joining forces with Harald Finehair. Uh, we see Gunhild late in her pregnancy, which ends up in a miscarriage of Bjorn's son. Uh, we see Harold Finehair's infatuation with uh, Ingrid, Bjorn's second wife. And, there's something weird about Harold. I just don't understand why he's always interested in Bjorn's seconds. It's just odd. Um, and so that ends in the rape of Ingrid uh, before the battle. But if you go back to earlier seasons, Harold was wanted to marry Gunhild, and she rejected him for Bjorn. So it's just kind of weird that he would focus on Ingrid and not Gunhild, for instance. But I guess she was pregnant at the time or had just miscarried. Um, the and then the Ivar and Hvitserk plotline I thought was very interesting. You would have thought that Hvitserk would have taken the first opportunity, or those many months that he spent with Ivar, to get revenge on Ivar, and he didn't. Instead, he kind of embraced his bad boy role. So you have to think of, like, I mean, I think the most reasonable thing is to think that after he killed Lagertha, he became a new man. He refound the Hitzert who fought beside Ivar, not the one who wanted vengeance against Ivar, uh, who shared the same goals as Ivar. So maybe that's true, or maybe we're going to see in the second half of the season that Hitzerk still wants revenge over Ivar, but he's also interested in the ride here. And then, of course, the Frades look-alike, um, Princess Katya, you know, seemed to make moves on Ivar the Boneless, and seemed to also indicate that she knew about his plotting against Oleg, but I guess Ivar didn't fully confide in her about that. And we're left to wonder, does Oleg know what's going on or not? And is Katya part of Oleg's plan or not? My take would be, yeah, Katya is working with Oleg, and that Ivar was smart not to confirm anything, but just to be very coy. And I guess Oleg feels like he needs Ivar at this point, so it's very conceivable that Ivar that Oleg does think that Ivar has betrayed him, but he still thinks he needs Ivar to take Scandinavia, take Norway. And certainly it seemed like, in terms of the pre-battle planning, he did need Ivar, right? It was Ivar's knowledge, it was Ivar's ingenuity that made the difference between success and failure in this battle. And I also very much liked what Bjorn was doing on the beach there. That I very much liked how Bjorn was, uh, talking to Ivar, even though they'd not met, and I think it was pretty obvious that it was not literal, but it was nice to hear the brothers sparring with each other. and Ivar very confident, Bjorn very confident. Uh, you know, in the end, we've been waiting for that beach scene for a long time. That's been teased in the trailers from the very beginning. It was nice to see it. I liked it. There were some points where they're like running up the hill, and the archers kept on killing them, and I was like, "Come on, you guys can get up the hill there." But we did get to see the balls of swords, and that was nice to see those deployed, and so there was some good in that. But I was like, when are the Rus gonna get to the archers? But they did in the end. And we saw the end of Harald Finehair and Bjorn. And so Bjorn visualized that he was stabbed in the heart by Ivar when, of course, Ivar was somewhere else. He was on the paddle boat on another fjord. Uh, and then Gunhild's counterattack to Ivar. I thought Gunhild was going to kill everybody. I was like, who's going to kill Gunhild? And Ivar's got to this little knife, and I'm like, that's not enough. But Oleg came and saved the day, and was able to injure Gunhild just enough so that she jumped in the water. So that was cool. Um, so we covered medieval fantasy TV, such as Game of Thrones, such as The Witcher, and we also do a lot of The Witcher 3 video game tips and tricks on this channel. So subscribe if you're still listening. So the I you know I liked all the tactical stuff. I'm also I was very impressed by the number of boats that they had. I just thought that I always think of the Vikings as being a little bit low budget compared to the other stuff I cover, but they it took some cash to do all this water work, and it took some cash to do the boat scenes, even if there's a lot of CGI involved in it. I just really appreciated that, and I thought it was all so cool. Uh, and then they had Ivar and the crew climbing the mountain, and then I guess they took the main town in Norway, which I don't know what it is. I'm sorry, my Norwegian geography is not great. And so yeah, so we have Bjorn dead, Harold dead. Uh, Ingrid is alive. So at one point it seemed like Ingrid was okay, but then we saw Ingrid like right after the rape going to Olaf, and I didn't realize that Ingrid had a relationship with Olaf. I don't know how she knows him. Is he her father? I was trying to research that before now, and I'm just not sure about that. Um, and I was kind of surprised with the death of Bjorn. We didn't see some sort of Valhalla reference, but we really didn't. We just saw him dead on the beach and him talking to Ivar. Um, and I thought that was really interesting. That what is the legacy of Ragnar? Is it the legacy of Ragnar that he would honor the gods, or would he embrace the Christian gods? And that's kind of up in the air. He was always on one side or the other of that question. It seemed like at the end of his life he embraced Valhalla and the Viking gods, but in the middle of his life he seemed to embrace the Christian gods, and certainly his brother embraced the Christian gods. So I think there's a lot of good stuff for the second half of the season. I'm glad that uh, we've narrowed the focus. I've not been a super fan of the Bjorn and Lagertha storyline this time. I thought it was a little bit slow, a little bit heavy-handed. Um, of course, the actor for Bjorn is one of the longest serving actors in the show, next to the actress for Lagertha. So, it's a big event for both those characters to bow out and those actors to bow out for this series. But I think we're looking at the conflict between Ivar and Oleg, right? So how does Ivar deal with Oleg going forward? That's what we're looking for the back half of the season. And of course, we were introduced to the storyline with Ube and Torvi and the search for Floki and this Otter Athelstan character in Iceland, this mysterious character, who, by the way, the actor is one of the centurions from Rome. If you like that series, I was a big fan of Rome, and I watched it several years ago. But if you have a subscription to HBO, you can watch it at any time. But anyways, so the Otter Athelstan mysterious character that knows about supposedly the New World and also knows about the death of Floki is an accomplished actor. So yeah, I'm interested to find out the Floki secret. I'm interested to find out how Ivar deals with Oleg and Princess Katya, and is Hvitserk really over his revenge desire with Ivar, or will Hvitserk be the end of Ivar? I'm kind of thinking he will be the end of it, but he's kind of on for the ride at the moment. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm Linus Wilson. Subscribe. We could use more subscribers on this channel. That'd be awesome. All right. Have fun. Don't let an axe hit you.